Hello to all of my Batman movie buffs. Dante D here, and welcome to the channel where we talk about comic books and other geek stuff. Not too long ago, we posted a video talking about my picks for the top 15 Batman villains of all time. And you all seem to really enjoy the video, so I decided to kind of do something in the spirit of that. Today, we are going to go through significant characters in every single Batman movie that was created and talk about if they were portrayed appropriately. So these performances are either going to be rated as certified fresh, like on Rotten Tomatoes, not bad, or just total crap. So stay tuned because I think we're going to have a lot of fun looking at a lot of the great performances and the bad performances in Batman movies over the years.
And here we go.
So the first person we are starting off with is the guy who started it all, and that was Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton was the first Batman in Batman 1989. His performance was okay. I've rated him as not bad at all. But he really wasn't my idea of Bruce Wayne. I thought he did an okay Batman, but his Bruce Wayne performance just it didn't really resonate with me. I didn't find him tortured enough. I don't know, not my favorite Batman, but like I said, when he had the cape and the cowl on, I think he did a pretty decent job. So overall, I was okay with that performance.
Do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Jack Nicholson. I said it before on this channel. Jack Nicholson is my favorite Joker. I think that performance was certified fresh. I think he was the perfect blend of the, comical, crazy, silly, Joker that you saw in the campy 1960s show, but also the crazy, maniacal, insane Joker that you were seeing in the comic books back in the 1980s. They couldn't have picked a better person to play the Joker, and to this day, my favorite Joker performance. I still quote all the lines from the movie. Just really enjoyed his performance.
Had you ever heard of the healing power of laughter? Now get out of here!
You heard him. Let's go. Stupid, move it. Move it.
And think it over.
Next, we have Michelle Pfeiffer, who happens to be my favorite Catwoman. That is definitely a certified fresh performance. Loved Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. I think she brought a really fresh spin to the character. She was really kind of eccentric. Definitely perfect for a Tim Burton movie. But also perfect, I think, for Catwoman. She will always be my favorite Catwoman. There hasn't been a Catwoman to this day that I think has done a better job than Michelle Pfeiffer, but that is my opinion. I know a lot of people really like Anne Hathaway. I prefer Michelle Pfeiffer for sure. Just such a great performance. As you could tell, I'm a big fan of Tim Burton. Most of the performances in the Tim Burton Batman movies, I absolutely loved. I think he was a great choice for a Batman director back in the late 80s and the early 90s. I think we have my favorite villain from any Batman movie that was ever made, and that was Danny DeVito's Penguin. Wow, was this performance ever stellar. Loved him. He was crazy. He was sophisticated in a way, and he was just really creepy, and that makeup job was just amazing. Like, such an amazing makeup job. Love Danny DeVito's Penguin. Definitely a certified fresh performance. And Danny DeVito, I don't think there's anybody that is going to be able to top Danny DeVito's Penguin. DC and Warner Brothers Studios really has to consider and choose carefully who they pick to play the Penguin next if they decide to use Penguin on screen again, just because I feel that nobody was better than Danny DeVito at all. He was just loved. Val Kilmer. Now, here is a Batman that has gotten mixed reviews from people. Believe it or not, I actually think his portrayal of Bruce Wayne was really good. I thought he played a tortured character so well. I actually really appreciated those flashback scenes, and they did a great job in showing that this character is traumatized. They really went into the psychological and the traumatic aspects of the Batman persona really well in this with Val Kilmer's portrayal. His Batman was okay. I didn't really see that much of a difference between the Batman and the Bruce Wayne. And Batman and Bruce Wayne are two distinct characters that have to be played a lot differently. Again, his Batman was okay, but the Bat Nipples just really ruined his Batman for me. So in the end, I'm saying not bad. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey as the Riddler, also from 1995's Batman Forever. You really felt a difference in tone with this film. Now, we had Joel Schumacher, who took over the directorial duties for the Batman movies in this film, and he's had some great movies in the past, like Lost Boys. But this movie, I really think, was a little bit too overdone. Any movie with Jim Carrey essentially is overdone. I mean, I love Jim Carrey. He was great in Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. I think there's a time and a place for Jim Carrey, definitely, but I don't know if a Batman movie was necessarily the place for him. I mean, I get why they put him in the movie. Jim Carrey was at the height of his popularity in the mid-1990s, so they thought it would be a great business move and would be great for the film at the box office to include Jim Carrey in it. Turned out that was definitely the case. I thought Jim Carrey's performance was fun. He made me laugh so many times. Jim Carrey is always fun to watch, but I think very unoriginal. That Jim Carrey performance, to me, was not really that much different than any other Jim Carrey performance I was seeing in movies in the 1990s. Just not at all. And I definitely think, too, this Jim Carrey Riddler was not like the traditional Riddler at all. I'm okay with original interpretations of characters, if they want to put like a fresh spin on it, but this was not even a fresh spin. This was just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. So just really over the top performance that was usual for 1990s Jim Carrey. So I gave him a poop emoji for crap performance, unfortunately.
Can you feel it, Captain Compo?
Tommy Lee Jones is next, and I have a lot to say about Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Okay, so first off, I really think one thing that's important to the Two-Face character in the comics, and you need duality with Two-Face. He loves everything binary. Two-Face is all about two. And I think they tried to push that superficially in this movie, but the way he acted was not like Two-Face at all. He was just this crazy, over-the-top character, psycho villain, who had no duality at all. He was the same character throughout the whole movie. And this performance really did not capture that the constant conflict that Harvey Dent has with Two-Face. It's, very shallow performance, I think. I want to know why the heck the injured side of his face is purple. Can anyone explain that to me? He looks more like, Thanos, or like he has a really bad wine stain on his face. I don't know. And again, his performance was really over the top. That was likely meant to complement Jim Carrey's Riddler. But it ends up leaving the viewer with all that over the top performance with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. It just leaves the viewer feeling like they've taken in too much sugar and caffeine. Again, it's good for a while, but too much of it is not good at all. And this character sounds like he has a really bad case of bronchitis. Batman and Robin, 1997. I'm not even going to go through these characters individually because this whole movie was a poop show. There was not one good performance here. The Batman was terrible. The Batman was terrible. The Robin was terrible. The Uma Thurman, everybody, Schwarzenegger, way too many cold puns. Yuck. You know, it's a fun movie to roast with your friends. Makes a good drinking game. You know, you take a shot every time, you know, Schwarzenegger does a cold pun. You get wasted within literally seconds of watching the movie, but it really does not have any other value. Now let's talk about Chris O'Donnell by himself. You know, you had Chris O'Donnell in Batman Forever, but then you also had him in Batman and Robin. The Batman and Robin performance was just, you know, a lost cause. But, you know, I'm going to look at his Batman Forever performance as the Robin performance. Okay, so I really think he wasn't that bad. I found him a little bit whiny, but he wasn't horrible as Robin. But again, why the bat nipples? Why? Why did you have to put nipples on a leather costume? Just, ugh. And Michael, I think you say that last name, Goff. That is definitely a certified fresh performance. This is the first Alfred on the big screen, and he was great. They actually kept him as Alfred in every single, in the first 4 Batman movies. So you had Batman in '89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and even Batman and Robin. And he was just a great Alfred. Really enjoyed his performance, and I thought he captured and portrayed Alfred as he should be, like he was in the comics. Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon did not like this performance. There might be some of you out there that like Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon. Let me know in the comments what you thought of him. I didn't like his performance. I thought he was too old. I didn't think he really kind of portrayed any of Jim Gordon's, you know, rough toughness. I just found him really kind of one-dimensional and boring to watch. And then his performance in Batman and Robin just, you know, just killed it for me. So, you know, don't like this one. Let me know what you think, though. Now we're on to a series of fresh performances. Christian Bale, definitely a certified fresh Batman. I think he did a really great job. The thing that was especially great about his performance was the difference in which he played Bruce Wayne and Batman. Bruce Wayne was one very distinct character when he was in public. It really captured that playboy vibe that Bruce Wayne is known for when he's in public. And then his Batman was just amazing. Very fresh spin on the character. They made him almost like a ninja Batman. I know some people didn't like the whole voice thing, but the voice kind of makes sense. How else is he going to disguise the voice? Like, if you put a mask on me right now, you'll know who I am. He had to disguise his voice somehow. So I thought it was great. I loved both the Batman performance and the Bruce Wayne performance. So definitely fresh. Cillian Murphy. Now, this guy is the guy who played the Scarecrow in Batman Begins. Again, really great performance. He played Professor Crane really well. And just, I don't really have much else to say. I just really enjoyed his Scarecrow performance. Very, very fresh. Michael Caine as Alfred. So, spoiler alert, I love every single Alfred that's been on screen. I thought every single actor that's played Alfred did a great job. The one thing I liked better that this Alfred did that the other one didn't was they really kind of go into the history of Alfred's life before he was a butler. Like, when he tells that story, I think he was in the military, and they were in Burma, and they were trying to find the jewel thief or whatever, and they didn't know what his rationale. I thought that was all great. We learned a little bit more about Alfred and who he was before he was a butler in the Christopher Nolan Batman films, and I just thought this was a great performance. But I like Michael Caine in general, so I mean, it was kind of hard for me to be kind of objective with this. Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon. Okay, this is the first and probably the only Commissioner Gordon I've ever liked. I think he did a great job. They had a lot of character development with this Commissioner Gordon. Definitely my favorite Gordon performance on the big silver screen. I really like Ben McKenzie as Commissioner Gordon too in the Gotham TV series. You know, I like this Commissioner Gordon because he's not just, this character who stands by idly and waits for Batman to do everything. He actually gets in there and has some decent character agency. Like, he actually contributes to the overall outcomes of events, which is what I want to see in Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon is not a helpless character. He is a badass cop. He became commissioner for a reason, and I really like how they portray Commissioner Gordon with Gary Oldman. Awesome. They have this Commissioner Gordon work with Batman, not having Batman just work for him like we had with the Pat Hingle Batman. So I mean, yeah, definitely fresh here. Now, of course, we have the Heath Ledger Joker. This is probably where I am going to rub some people the wrong way. I definitely thought Heath Ledger's performance was fresh. Okay, great performance. Super original, but he's not my favorite. I do like the Jack Nicholson Joker better for no particular reason. I just think Jack Nicholson kind of reminds me more of a classic Joker with a fresh modern spin to him. This Joker was just super dark. Now, the Joker is a dark character to begin with, but there just wasn't that dark humor with this Joker. I guess the pencil trick kind of counts as dark humor, but again, great performance. I have nothing bad to say about it, and I really loved the fact that this Joker always had multiple tellings of his origin. That was very reminiscent of The Killing Joke, in that famous quote in The Killing Joke where he says, if I'm going to have an origin story, I prefer for it to be multiple choice, and I love that they included that in this movie. Just brilliant. Aaron Eckhart, who played Two-Face. Decent performance, definitely better than Tommy Lee Jones. Thought he was not bad, but this character is still missing that duplicity. He goes from being this, somewhat rational, DA who's really looked up to, and then his change is just like so sudden. Like that one event just throws him over the edge, and there's nothing left of the original Harvey Dent. Like, again, for Two-Face, I need to see that duplicity. I need to see that conflict between Harvey Dent and Two-Face. Just like what we saw in Batman Arkham City. In Batman Arkham City, one of the first cutscenes you see is Two-Face in that courthouse there, and they have him talking with different voices. Like the Harvey Dent voice is just very normal, and then Two-Face comes in and he starts talking like this, and they're having like a dialogue with each other. It's just wonderful. That's what I want to see with Two-Face, not Harvey Dent is this, then he becomes Two-Face and he's this. Like it's just not. It's not very representative of what Two-Face is supposed to be to me, so that's why I think this was more of a not bad performance. Tom Hardy as Bane. Thank goodness they used Bane and they fixed Bane because the original Bane from the 1997 Batman and Robin film was just a mindless thug who all he said was, I think he had like 3 lines that he said over and over again in the whole movie. He was stupid, and it was just horrible. And now we have the Tom Hardy Bane, who I think was so on par with his portrayal of Bane. I don't think there was any way they could have done this character better. Very true to the comic book Bane, but he simultaneously provided a very original performance. And what I mean by that is that voice. That voice that is like our, I think, modern day Darth Vader voice. Like James Earl Jones, he's known for his Darth Vader voice in the 70s, and then Tom Hardy came out and we have our new iconic voice of the generation. It's actually really cool to see. If you go on YouTube, you can see Darth Vader with Bane's voice dubbed and vice versa. So you have Bane's voice with then you have Bane with Darth Vader's voice dubbed on. It's really entertaining to see. I really found it cool how fans made the connection between the two characters. So definitely a fresh performance, and probably my favorite villain in the Christopher Nolan Batman film. Okay, and now we have Anne Hathaway. I know a lot of people liked Anne Hathaway's performance as Catwoman. I thought it was a good performance. For me, I just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling her as Catwoman. Again, just because I love Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman so much that it was hard for me to look at her as the new Catwoman. So yeah, so I thought she wasn't bad though. Definitely not bad at all. Jared Leto. Oh God. Okay. Okay, I get it. He wasn't like the feature villain in a Batman movie. He wasn't actually even technically in a Batman movie. He was in Suicide Squad, and then he also made an appearance in the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League. But either one of those performances didn't like, and I get it. He wasn't meant to be the center of the film, of any of the films he was in. So, you know, it's kind of hard for him to have the room to bring an original spin to the character. But I do think that with the scenes that he did have, he tried way too hard to stand out as an original Joker. He doesn't incorporate any elements that the Joker is known for. I thought this was very superficial, and there were no psychological aspects. So I definitely thought this was crap Joker performance, and probably the worst Joker performance that I've seen on screen. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, au contraire, was great. Amazing performance. Fun, engaging, true to the source material. And to be honest with you, Birds of Prey is one of my favorite DC movies. I've watched that movie like 6 times. It's just so good. Just love how they did it, and so fun. I really hope they continue to use her as Harley Quinn. This is definitely a certified fresh performance. Batfleck or Ben Affleck as Batman. I might get some flack for this too. I'm giving him a certified fresh performance. I was actually really surprised by how much I did like this performance. You know, when it was announced that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, I was in that group of people that were like, seriously, you're going to have Ben Affleck be Batman? Like, that's going to be wrong so many ways. But I think he was a great Bruce Wayne, and I think he was a good Batman. Really like what they did with the voice here. You know, I thought it was going to be really hard to top Christian Bale's voice as Batman, but I really like what they did by making his voice mechanical to disguise it, and really cool. It makes him sound more menacing. Like that scene in Batman v Superman where he was like, "Do you know what that is? That's fear," and it's like all mechanical. It just sent chills down my spine. I know a lot of people didn't like Batman v Superman, but it was good. I liked it. I thought it was a great movie. And with the Ben Affleck Batman, we got probably one of the best Batman fight scenes. I was just like, definitely how I picture Batman fighting. It's just so great, and the suit's really cool. You can definitely tell they were going for like the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman here, and thought it was really nice. Liked it a lot, so definitely fresh. Jeremy Irons as Alfred, great performance. Love Jeremy Irons as an actor, and I thought he was great as Alfred. Nothing bad to say. Definitely a fresh performance here. J.K. Simmons. Why, Warner Brothers, why, I ask, would you cast J. Jonah Jameson to play Commissioner Gordon? I actually like J.K. Simmons. I think his J. Jonah Jameson is spot on, and there isn't an actor out there who can play J. Jonah Jameson better than J.K. Simmons. I even like his roles in other films. I think he's a great actor. I just think that he's kind of known for playing Jameson, that, you know, throwing him in the Commissioner Gordon role, I just think wasn't really appropriate. I thought that was strange. The performance wasn't really that bad. It's just, for me, it was hard for him to top Gary Oldman's Commissioner Gordon. This Commissioner Gordon was really kind of one-dimensional. Didn't really have a lot of screen time. Not really that involved. I really think that the Justice League film just, you know, shouldn't have had him in it at all. Like, I feel like the Commissioner Gordon scenes were just kind of thrown in there just, because they need Commissioner Gordon, but it was not really important to have him on screen. So this was just kind of a waste to me. But, have him stick with J. Jonah Jameson because I think that that's where he belongs. He's just so great as J.J. Jameson. But maybe not as Commissioner Gordon. The way they made him look, though, I thought was pretty good. Like, the costume design was great, but that's all really I have to say that's good about this. So that about this for our discussion of the different performances of characters in the various Batman movies. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are there any ratings that you thought I kind of was too harsh on, or was a little bit maybe too forgiving on? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Would really love to hear from you. And as always, this is Dante D signing off. I will see you all in the next episode.